Yeah, I think one thing that a lot of people just don't understand, and maybe they only been here for a year or two, they came in with PulseChain or otherwise, and they haven't watched Richard and understood his mission, all that for a while. It goes back to delayed gratification. Like
Yeah.
everything that happens, you can map it back to Hex as a product. You can map waiting for PulseChain for 2 years. You can chalk that up. I mean, obviously there's some technical stuff changing from BSC and all that
Right,
stuff
right,
too,
right.
but just in general, like even me and Dave and Peter were talking last night. Hey, what if the bridge doesn't come in a month? Imagine how many weak hands, how many people are going to ratio trade everything away. They can't wait to get out of PulseChain. And I think that's a feature. I think that's, the dumps, hex price go down. I don't think it's supposed to go up
I don't want
forever.
you to unmonetize my channel, man. Like, stop talking about the Saudis, bro, right now. I mean, you're scaring me.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah.
The Saudis.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
man, but it's true.
that.
Like that's why like we could get like there is like if I had to put a percentage on it, like is the bridge going to be open within the first day? I'd put damn near like a 90% chance. No, absolutely not. But
Like three to 30 days max.
yeah, it's in within that range though. Yeah, but if it is 30 a month without the bridge, interesting. It's really really interesting. I don't think enough people have even real like I've heard a lot of people like PHEX and this and all that, but like I'll give you guys a little sauce here, right? This isn't really that crazy, but like if think about this, what's going to be the most valuable token on when we okay? So let's just say there's no bridge, right? So we have what PulseX, PulseChain, PHEX, and then maybe PHedron being worth something and something. But let's just talk about the big three, right? PHEX, PulseChain, and PulseX, right? Well, PHEX is going to be the most valuable token dollar wise, off the rip. Think about it. So let's just say around that time, snapshot wise, we're probably getting 30 to 40 cents on Hex on the snapshot, just off of where the price is right now. I mean, right now we're at 8 cents. Once the snapshot gets a little closer, people are like, oh shit, this thing might launch. Holy crap, crap, crap. We'll hit the 13 cents and then it'll crack up and stuff like that. So, like, the worst case, I think personally for the snapshot, because it looks like we're probably going to get like an 8 hour notice, if that. Like, I don't think we're getting 24 hours anymore. Like, we're just gonna, hey, pulse. Knowing Richard, probably if I had to guesstimate like him, he's probably gonna say, hey, yep. Imagine it's the middle of your night, and let's because 00 UTC time, I think on the Pacific on the West Coast, it might be like 5 p.m. Right? So imagine that like it's 2 in the morning. He says, yeah, we're gonna end up having it at 0 UTC time, or at this block number, and then it ends up being the 0 UTC time. So we're like, holy shit, we got 18 hours. I mean, the price would pretty much go to 25 cents, like minimum. Not bad, right? 30, but if we had like 3 days, if like Richard said, hey, the snapshot's going to be in 3 days, 3 días. Let me do the German way. 3 days, right? The price would probably get to 40 cents plus. But there's just not like, but he's pretty much kind of hinted that no, it's going to happen at any time. So, and then he's also said, like, I've had a lot of people, like, because there's a lot of very misinformed people that said, like, there's going to be no snapshot, there's no fork, bro. And then Richard literally said, like, oh yeah, the snapshot hasn't happened yet, bros. It's going to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So, yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
what are your
there will
thoughts on
be
that?
there's got to be a block height, right? There's got to be something where at a certain point the fork becomes the fork, and it is another network at some point. So I want to say though about the ratio trade, and the thing about ratio trading is you can't really dump in ratio trade. Like you can't dump into fiat and get out because there's no bridge. So you got to dump into something. So I wonder where all that, like if you're going to dump your pulse chain, you're going to dump your pulse X, you're going to dump your hex. What are you going to dump it into? Or are you going to dump everything else into
Into
those
Zen,
and make
baby.
those
Where
ratios
where
go
where
really
else
high?
am I going besides Zen, bro? All in, bro.
We
Come
we getting those copies? We getting those copies? Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
that would be some dope shit if Richard says not Zen.
I would crack up,
yo,
man, if he
yo,
was
Richard,
like, yeah.
Richard, if you're watching, I'll put the word out and stuff to fucking Gary and everybody else and shit. Yo, if that's because like, look, I think Richard said this before. You would probably end up knowing actually the date because you have all the videos. But Richard has said this, like, how stupid was it for Bitcoin Cash to have you gave all your enemies the weapon to kill you. Like I said this on previous Moon Gangs on Charlie's channel. I've said, hey, what Roger Ver should have done is anyone who had 100 Bitcoin or less would have got the free coins. Like I people give a lot of bullshit to like Pulse Doge, but Pulse Doge did the correct thing I think here. They gave the maximum amount of coins to dolphins and the lower tiers, and they cucked out the sharks and dolphins. I mean the sharks and the whales. Yeah, because the sharks and the whales don't need it if they really want to get it, because they're only going to hurt the price. I mean, like there's certain like very public figures in the Hex community that all they do is dump their fucking tokens and shit. And there's actually some of these tokens are actually decent, like, and they just keep dumping it on the market and stuff. It's just extra liquidity for them. But I mean, it's I guess in the normal sense, it's distributing coin supply over time and stuff. So it's their loss, short term gains, and long term loss on some of these tokens. But still, like you don't want to give some of these bigger like let them buy in, give them an amount to play around with, sure, but like you want to the middle class or like the upper middle class, like where the people that I would say like in if this was the U.S. economy, the dolphins are really the small business owner, the actual people who are actually keeping the ecosystem alive, right? The ones with the most skin in the game versus like, but not enough where like they're like just they could destroy it and monopolize it. It's a very large group and very powerful, right? As well as the the squids and the turtles. The squids, turtles, and the dolphins are hex. That's the hexicans right there. Like there's like 100 and some change sharks, right? And those 100 and change sharks, half of them are probably double wallets, if I'm being fucking honest. So it's like 40 to 30 dudes, tops, maybe one chick in there. Well, actually, there's two chicks. There's two chicks. I know for a fact. But and then the whales. I mean, they're all dudes. So let's be real. Let's not even joke around about that. Like the whales are like, and the same thing with the whales, right? Like that's what I'm saying. It's like we're talking about like if you add whales and shark wallets, it's like fucking not even 40 people.
Yeah, I mean, I think Richard's focused on onboarding too. I think that's one of his priorities for PulseChain, and it makes sense that he would. I don't think he would be excluding communities just because even though we joke it'd be funny if that happened for certain communities that he's talked about not liking or for one reason or another. But I think the growth and like the network effect that he wants PulseChain to have needs to have everyone in it, as many people as possible. Now, if he blacklists some wallets or whatever, exchanges, blah blah blah, that's like a separate deal. But like as far as communities go and coins, I think it's going to be insane to see the race to which ones have value and I want to see the stats of how many people start using PulseChain because they had a coin that got copied over. I want to see those top 10 stats.
Some Shibas, baby.
It's going to be unbelievable.
Some Shibas.
The Shibas, yeah.
I really believe it's going to be the Shiba people. I really do, because it's like I've said this before. So Doge, if I had a shitcoin if I had a meme shitcoin portfolio, right, it would be Dogecoin, Shiba, and Bone. Those three tokens, right? This is so ridiculous. Dogecoin is essentially Bitcoin for the meme world. Shiba Inu is essentially their Ethereum, and they have their own L1 now, and they're having Bone Swap and stuff, which is Bone token. That's like their PulseX. It's fucking hilarious. There's dog money out here, but